In the capital of a certain kingdom, known for many powerful wizards, peace was shattered. A gigantic dragon descended right in the center of the royal capital. The dragon declared that if humans dared to harm cats, the entire nation would face absolute destruction. No one understood why it had appeared so suddenly or what had awakened its fury. However, its mere presence was enough to throw the whole nation into panic. Spells echoed across the battlefield. Waves of magic were unleashed directly at the creature, but all human efforts proved useless. Those desperate attacks couldn't leave even a scratch on its massive body. Just when everyone thought the capital was about to be turned to ashes, the dragon didn't unleash a massacre. Instead, it left humanity with a terrifying warning. Then, it spread its wings and flew away. To understand this fury, the story goes back to the past. Deep in the Newcomer One forest, where magical beasts and spirits coexist, there lived a female dragon that breathed fire. Fire. She flew to a stone cave to lay and protect her egg, but soon after she was hunted by humans. She lost her life forever. Sometime later, a pregnant cat found her way to that same cave. These weren't ordinary cats. They were much smarter and capable of magic. After checking the place, the cat noticed it was warm, filled with rats, and safe from dangerous predators. So, she chose that stone cave as her nest to give birth. Then, something miraculous happened. The mother cat gave birth to a healthy litter of kittens. But among those tiny newborns, there was a strange, huge egg. Soon after, the egg cracked open, revealing a small red dragon. Instead of fearing this creature from another species, the mother cat felt no danger from the newborn. She embraced it lovingly, accepting it as one of her own. For her, raising a child of another species wasn't unusual at all. She had cared for orphaned babies from other magical beasts before. From that moment on, the little red dragon officially became part of the Cat Sith family. Growing up under the warmth and love of a feline mother, time flew by. The little ones grew up fast. Their mother taught them how to hunt. She taught them how to survive in the vast forest. She also showed them how to protect themselves. The Cat Sith pups gradually revealed their natural magical abilities. Meanwhile, the little dragon discovered his own power, fire magic. When she saw her adopted son control the flames, the mother cat wasn't worried. Instead, she felt immense pride. However, the forest wasn't always a safe place. During a hunt, the mother cat caught the scent of humans. Her expression turned serious. She was teaching her kids a crucial lesson. Humans were unpredictable creatures. Some were kind, but others were cruel. They were far more dangerous than wild bears. To the Cat Sith, humans were particularly terrifying. To greedy hunters, they were nothing but valuable prey. Their rare fur was highly sought after. The mother made her kids memorize the scent of humans carefully. She ensured they would run away. As soon as she felt it, it seemed like the peaceful life of that little family would last forever. But then, tragedy struck. One day, a glowing magic circle suddenly appeared beneath the mother cat's paws. Her body began to vanish, wrapped in light. In that moment, she understood that she was being forcefully summoned by human magic. Even though she couldn't resist the spell, she didn't panic. Calmly, she looked at her children. They were no longer helpless babies, but real hunters. She told them to trust each other, to survive together, and to protect each other in the forest. Before disappearing, she reminded them that if they ever faced trouble, they should seek their feline relatives. As long as they recognized their scent, they would be treated kindly. Her last words were a confession of the immense pride she felt for each of her children. Then, the light enveloped her completely. She vanished from the cave, leaving the little dragon crying uselessly for his mother. Years went by. The cat siblings grew up and left the cave one by one to establish their own territories. Only the dragon remained. He continued living in the old stone cave. He hunted alone. He quietly held onto the memories of the mother cat who had loved him unconditionally. As time passed, the little red dragon grew bigger and bigger, but he never left the home of his childhood. One day, his second oldest sister returned to his side. She was accompanied by a friend and a litter of tiny kittens. She gently introduced the dragon to the kids, saying that this enormous creature was their little uncle. From that day on, the dragon became a beloved winged uncle to the kittens. He lovingly shared with them the survival lessons his mother had taught him, from using his whiskers to measure narrow passages, to hiding his tail while hunting prey. Above all, he reinforced the warning to never approach humans. Not long after, a pregnant white cat also arrived at the cave. She explained that her father had told her that if she ever needed a safe place to give birth, she should seek out the great winged dragon. Upon hearing this, the dragon couldn't contain his emotions. Even though his siblings had taken different paths, they had never forgotten him. They still considered him part of the family. Season after season passed, and the little dragon finally matured. He became a gigantic legendary beast. His magical power grew so much that he could communicate with nature spirits. Thanks to this ability, he discovered a truth he had never considered before. He wasn't a cat, but a dragon. However, when he confessed this to the little ones, nervous and anxious, they simply didn't care. They just rubbed against their uncle beside them, asking him to keep teaching them magic. To them, his species didn't matter. He was, and would always be, part of the family. But that peace was shattered. During a patrol flight, the dragon encountered human hunters brutally slaughtering a clan of catseats. At first, he thought it was just the law of nature, but upon hearing the whispers of the forest spirits, he discovered the horrifying truth. The humans weren't hunting to, survive. They were killing the cats. Just because of its skin, the dragon's fury erupted. Unable to forgive such cruelty, it flew straight to the kingdom's capital. This moment takes us back to the story's opening scene. The massive dragon descended upon the city, unleashing warning flames in front of soldiers and mages. It declared itself the guardian dragon of the cats. In the face of its overwhelming power, humanity could only tremble. Watching the terrified population from above, it wanted to reduce everything to ashes. But in that instant, it remembered its mother's lesson. There were kind humans, too. This memory stopped it from being consumed by rage. Instead of punishing the entire kingdom, it issued one last ultimatum. Humans were permanently banned from harming cats. Any massacre not for survival would bring down the wrath of the heavens. The whole kingdom would be burned to ashes. After that, the dragon returned to the forest. But the terror it left behind transformed into a legend passed down through generations. The name of the golden dragon became a warning that no one dared ignore. Many years after that event, the scene shifts to the royal castle. One calm night, the first prince, a young boy, sneaked out to the courtyard. He wanted to practice fire magic. He recited the spell, trying to create a flame, but he failed over and over again. Suddenly, from the shadows, a wild cat appeared. It had a leaf balanced on its head. The cat watched the prince. Then, with its own tail, it easily lit the leaf on its head. The prince was shocked and fascinated. He never imagined a cat could use magic so skillfully. After that unexpected encounter, he started to vent to his new friend. He confessed he was born with very little mana. That meant he had to work twice as hard as anyone else to prove he was worthy of the throne. Then, he remembered what his tutors had warned him about. If a wild cat showed up in the castle, they had to guide it safely back to the forest. If it got hurt or killed, the golden dragon would return. The kingdom would be destroyed in flames. Concerned about these consequences, Prince asked the cat to return safely to the forest. The bond began between a prince with little magic and a mysterious spirit cat. The young prince kept sneaking out at night, but now he wasn't alone. By his side was the cat sit, guiding and encouraging him silently. Under the starry sky, the prince raised his staff and chanted, "Vals ignite." This time, a bright flame erupted, perfectly. From that moment on, those training nights became his happiest childhood memories. They shared berries picked from the forest and sweets brought from the castle kitchen. Opening their hearts to each other as best friends, they shared a secret. The prince earnestly promised to train even harder to become as skilled as his little feline mentor. However, rumors of their friendship eventually reached the king's ears. He was plunged into deep worry. Haunted by the old legend of the golden dragon, the king feared that keeping a wild cat in the castle would bring great disaster. Just when the tension peaked, the massive dragon appeared. Suddenly, above the castle, the soldiers drew their weapons in panic. They knew that one wrong move could cost them their lives. As everyone trembled in fear, the little cat with the leaf on its head stepped forward bravely. The cat and the dragon spoke in the ancient language of the Catsith. They had help from a scholar who understood a bit of that language. The cat explained that it wasn't being held captive. It had chosen, of its own free will, to teach the prince. It also explained that, although the prince lacked natural talent, his tireless effort and kind heart made him worthy. The cat's wish was to bridge the gap between the two species. At first, the dragon rejected the idea. It remembered the cruelty caused by human greed, but the little cat turned the dragon's own teachings against it. It spoke about valuing friends and building a future where humans and cats could coexist in harmony. Hearing those words, the dragon's heart softened. To conduct the negotiations properly, the dragon recited a spiritual enchantment. Its huge body began to shrink. He transformed into a small red cat with wings. Then he started speaking fluently in the human language. This left the entire court completely stunned. In the throne room, the dragon conveyed the wishes of the little cat. The king showed concern. He understood that the spiritual magic of cats could shift the balance of military power between kingdoms. Yet, the dragon calmly reassured him. Then, he mentioned the grand title humans had given him. He said that Golden Dragon sounded too far-fetched. He confessed he hadn't been raised to be an emperor of the skies. He was raised by a mother cat, called by his feline siblings. Deep down, he felt like a cat. That's why he asked the king to call him by the title that truly defined him, the Cat Dragon. After that historic meeting, the kingdom changed forever. The prince mastered the spiritual magic. Later, he ascended to the throne and shared his love for cats with the entire people. The fear from the old legend turned into deep respect for the cat dragon and all felines. A new banner was raised in the kingdom, featuring the emblem of a dragon and a cat. Entwined, a symbol of protection, gratitude, and mutual respect. Whenever a new royal baby was born, the forest cats visited the castle. They became the first friends and mentors. Deep in the thick forest, the brilliant red cat dragon continued doing what he loved most. He taught hunting skills and spiritual magic to a new generation of mischievous kittens. He kept the eternal love of his mother cat alive forever.